You hatch from an egg floating in the open ocean, somewhere near a coral reef in the Indo-Pacific. The egg breaks apart, and you drift out into the water column, barely visible, transparent, with huge eyes taking up most of your tiny head. You're a larva, less than a quarter-inch long. Your body is soft, with no real shape yet, just a blob with a tail that twitches occasionally. You drift with the current for days, moving wherever the ocean takes you, sometimes toward the reef, sometimes away from it. You have no control. No ability to swim properly. You're just hoping the water carries you somewhere you can survive. Then, after 2 weeks of drifting, you feel solid ground beneath you for the first time. You've washed into a shallow lagoon filled with seagrass. Your body starts changing. Your fins develop. Your scales harden slightly. Venomous spines grow from your dorsal fin, sharp and rigid, already capable of injecting toxin into anything that touches them. You're about an inch long now, swimming in short bursts between the seagrass blades, trying to stay hidden. You're 3 months old now. You've grown to about 2 inches. Your body is pale green with faint yellow stripes running along your sides. You move through the seagrass slowly, nibbling on the tips of the blades with your small, rabbit-like mouth. That's why humans call you a rabbitfish, because your face looks like a rabbit. 2 big eyes. A small mouth that's always slightly open, moving side to side as you chew. You eat constantly. Every few minutes, you bite off another piece of seagrass and grind it down with your tiny teeth. The grass is tough, fibrous, hard to digest. But it's everywhere, so you keep eating it. Then you hear something moving through the water nearby, fast. You freeze, pressing your body flat against the sand. A juvenile grouper swims past, scanning the seagrass for prey. It doesn't see you. You stay completely still until it's gone. Then you start eating again, tearing at the seagrass with quick, jerky bites. You're 6 months old now. You've moved from the lagoon to the reef itself, swimming in small groups with other rabbitfish your age. There are maybe 20 of you, all darting between coral heads, staying close together. You're about 4 inches long now, with bright yellow and blue markings across your body. The venomous spines on your back are fully developed, 13 of them, each one sharp and hollow, connected to venom glands beneath your skin. If anything bites you, the spines inject toxin directly into the wound. It won't kill a predator, but it'll hurt, badly, enough to make them spit you out and leave you alone. You're swimming near the edge of the group when a needlefish darts in from the side, its long jaws snapping at the rabbitfish in front of you. The fish panics and scatters, swimming in all directions. You turn sharply and swim toward a crevice in the coral. The needlefish follows, closing the distance fast. You dive into the crevice and press your back against the coral wall, your dorsal spines pointing outward. The needlefish stops just outside, its mouth opening and closing. It can see you, but it doesn't come closer. Those spines are keeping it away. After a few seconds, it turns and swims off to look for easier prey. You stay in the crevice for a while longer, breathing hard, before rejoining the group. You're 1 year old now. You've grown to about 8 inches. You spend most of your time eating algae off the reef, scraping it from dead coral with your teeth. The algae is thin and doesn't provide much nutrition, so you eat constantly, moving from spot to spot, chewing and swallowing. Your digestive system is long and slow, designed to break down plant matter over many hours. But even with all that eating, you're always slightly hungry. You're swimming along the reef edge when you notice another rabbitfish feeding in the same spot. You move closer and start scraping algae from the same patch of coral. The other fish doesn't leave. You both feed side by side for a while, occasionally bumping into each other. Then a third rabbitfish joins, then a fourth. Soon there are a dozen of you, all feeding together in the same area. This happens often. Rabbitfish don't defend feeding territories. There's too much algae and not enough reason to fight over it, so you just share the space, eating until the algae is gone, then moving to the next spot. You're 2 years old now. You're fully grown at about 12 inches long. Your colors are brighter now, yellow with black spots and blue streaks along your sides. You're swimming with a small school when you notice one rabbitfish behaving differently. It's slightly larger than the others, darker in color, moving in tight circles near the reef. You drift closer and watch. Then another rabbitfish approaches it. They swim together in a slow spiral, touching sides briefly. That's mating. You've never done it before, but something inside you recognizes what's happening. A few days later, you feel the same urge. You start swimming in circles near the reef, moving faster, changing your color slightly to a darker shade. Another rabbitfish approaches. You swim together, circling each other, your bodies brushing against one another. Then, without any signal, you both release gametes into the water at the same time, eggs and sperm mixing in the current. It's over in seconds. The other fish swims away. You return to feeding. The eggs drift off with the current, the same way you did when you hatched. Most of them won't survive, but some will. You're 4 years old now. You're swimming near the reef when something sharp pierces the water above you. A spear. It misses you by inches and embeds itself in the sand below. You bolt toward the reef, swimming as fast as you can, your fins working frantically. Another spear cuts through the water, this time closer. You dive into a coral overhang and press yourself against the rock. You can see the shadow of a boat above, moving slowly across the surface. A human is up there, hunting. You stay hidden under the coral, not moving, barely breathing. After several minutes, the shadow moves away. You wait longer, making sure it's really gone. Then you swim out slowly, scanning the water above you. The boat is far off now, near another part of the reef. You swim in the opposite direction, staying low, keeping close to the coral. Humans hunt rabbitfish because your flesh is good to eat. They sell you in markets, sometimes alive, sometimes on ice. Your venomous spines don't matter once you're caught. They just cut them off and gut you. You're 5 years old now. You're feeding on algae near the reef when you notice something strange. The water is warmer than usual, not by much, but enough that you can feel it. The coral around you looks different too. Paler, bleached. The algae that usually covers the dead coral is thinner now, harder to find. You scrape your teeth against the rock, but there's barely anything there. You move to another spot. Same thing. The reef is changing. The water stays warm for weeks. More coral dies. More algae disappears. You're eating constantly, but it's not enough. You're losing weight. Your body is burning through its reserves faster than you can replace them. Other rabbitfish in your school are getting thinner too. Some of them have stopped swimming as much, drifting near the bottom, too weak to move. One morning, you find one of them lying motionless in the sand, dead. You swim past it without stopping and continue searching for food. You're 6 years old now. You're swimming near the surface when a net drops into the water above you. It falls fast, spreading wide, trapping you and dozens of other fish in its mesh. You thrash against it, your spines catching in the netting, but it doesn't break. The net tightens and starts pulling upward, dragging you toward the surface. The pressure changes, your swim bladder expands painfully. The water gets brighter, warmer. Then you break through the surface, and there's air, blinding light, sounds you don't understand. You can't breathe. Your gills flap uselessly in the open air, trying to pull oxygen from nothing. You're pulled onto the deck of a boat with dozens of other fish, all of you flopping against the wood, gasping. A human grabs you and presses down on your dorsal fin. One of your spines pierces their hand. They yell and drop you, shaking their hand, blood dripping from the wound. Another human picks you up, more carefully this time, avoiding the spines. They cut them off with a knife. Then they gut you with quick, practiced movements. Your body stops moving before they're finished. You're tossed into a cooler with the other fish, packed in ice. Your eyes are still open, staring at nothing. The boat moves on to the next spot, dragging its net through the water, catching more rabbitfish, more reef fish, pulling them up one after another. Your body stays in that cooler for hours, then gets sold at a market on the coast. Someone buys you for dinner. They fry you in oil and eat you with rice. That's how it ends. The rabbitfish gets hooked, cleaned, and dropped into hot oil. Harsh, right? But there's something out there that has it even worse. No quick end, no mercy. Got an idea for the next video? Drop your topic in the comments. And if you're into this kind of deep dive, hit subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next.